Hello. I think I'm live. I will see. And I need to light my candle, which is challenging. Oh, come on in, have a seat, say hello, let me know you're here. We're just going to have a little chat. And I hope you have some questions. It will be a much better conversation if it's a two-way street. But I can sit here and talk to myself forever, so it works either way. Hello, hello. Oh, I'm being told there is action needed. Let me know if you are here, if you can see me and hear me. It's doing that thing again where it says it's having issues with the speed. But I don't know. So, we'll just wing it. Alright, so my goal for this little chit chat is to talk about the new moon and the energies and things that are going on with that I've noticed in my own little bubble. But I am not sure if this is gonna hold. We shall see. Alright, well. Anyway, I am just gonna take uno momento and just ground, welcome everybody in, get this party started. If you are coming on, say hello. Tell me where you're coming from. Anybody see the new moon tonight? It is gorgeous. It's big with a little tiny sliver on the bottom, at least from my view. And it is powerful. Definitely bringing up emotions, feelings, things people thought they were over with, all coming up for you to say hello, goodbye, nice to meet ya, but it's time to move on. And then just keep on trucking. Just as the ground, the earth is prepping for spring and all new life is under the ground getting ready to sprout, so are all the new things that you've been wishing for. But in order for that to happen, all the stuff that's not working or that's old and in the way and no longer in use and hanging out needs to go. And it's not always fun, but it is necessary. So it's important to remind yourself this is happening for me, not to me. And just know that everything is falling away for the good to come and play. And And there are stuck energies coming up to be released, because basically we're supposed to just be flowing. And a lot of times we're in resistance. Resistance to change, even though we want something new. Resistance to change because it's new. And so we think we want it, but then we fight it. And so we are to just take a deep breath and remind ourselves that everything is happening for a reason. Another thing I wanted to mention is it has come to my attention that, how do I want to say this? I heard something the other day that makes so much sense, and I need to share. There is obviously the five senses for your physical body, right? So we touch, taste, smell, hear, see. There are a whole lot of other senses that we have been ignoring and taught to ignore our entire life. And those are coming online. So those are turning up. So, for instance, your gut feelings are probably increasing. You might feel more goosebumps. You could, let me think, what else? Oh, like a roller coaster of emotions. That's like energy releasing, obviously, but walking into a room and feeling that something isn't right is your, I don't even know the name of it. It's your sense of feeling. So those are your spirit's senses, and those are all coming back online. And so basically what I've noticed is, as little children, we are all completely connected to spirit. We're like little spirits and bodies, and totally open. We can see things our parents can't see. We can hear things our parents can't hear, most likely. Not all cases. This is just my experience. And then what happens, say we're like this big bright light, right? And for me, it was something in my closet. I could sense it was there. I don't know if I saw it, I don't remember. I could hear things, and then when I would go tell my parents, they would be like, no, nothing's there, which, no bad on them. I love my parents, they're awesome. It's just what happens when you can't see energy. But what happens is that little light starts dimming, and yes, exactly, like the hi, like the monster under the bed. That monster was most likely a spirit, and that knowing that they're there is your sense for your spirit. So, as you're this like really bright, shiny kid that is totally connected to spirit, the more that those things happen, the more your light kind of goes up. That's what happened to me. So, I then tried to like turn off all those feelings, hearing, all those things. And I'll say, hearing isn't what we think it is. It's not necessary. Some people, yes, it is other voices, but the one I'm talking about, like your intuitive senses, most of the time it's your own voice, and we have been trained so much to ignore it that we don't even pay attention to it half the time. And so it's all of learning, like unlearning what you have been adulting, and then you get that connection back. But that's kind of what's happening to the whole world, basically. That's like what I'm seeing is like they talk about 3D, 4D, 5D, 3Ds, like you live through the body, ignoring all the spiritual stuff. 4D is like you're more in your heart and sort of like seeing the world through your heart with compassion, empathy, somewhat. You're like halfway in your body. And then I totally lost my track of where I was going with that. But the world is moving towards the 5D, which is like using all of those senses. So, like, you get telepathy, spirit communication, so much levitation. I cannot wait to levitate again because I know I've done it. All kinds of like magical things that we've been told to ignore, they're coming back online. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. We've just been like taught to ignore it and to bury it and to not see it. But the problem is that a lot of people have felt it their whole life and have known that something is wrong. And that's kind of what I see is happening is like there's a switch happening where people are kind of like switching from the just being physical into like using all the rest of the stuff. And then when you do, you're like integrating more of your soul and spirit back and living more the whole point of you coming here, like your soul contract. Anyway, that's what I figured out in the last couple of days. And so, some of the things that I have noticed is like we all are empathic, intuitive little mediums or channels. It's just what have we been channeling? So for me, I noticed that it's like that saying, what you focus on, your energy, where your energy goes, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And so, what happens when you get all this like people's energy spilled onto you by their, like you start believing their beliefs instead of yours? You basically like get little soul splints, and now is kind of a time where we're like healing all of that as a collective. And so you might have old memories coming up. You might run into people from your past. You might realize that you're like recreating your past. Because again, all the old patterns are kind of coming up. It's also like the illusions are crumbling. So, like, a lot of truth is coming to the surface. So, things that are not supposed to be working are breaking. That's why you're seeing a lot of government turmoils. I could pretty much list any institution that has problems going on, like school systems, hospitals, like our medical, how we handle things is kind of changing because certain things that we've been doing aren't working. It's like, here for an example for me, it's like I didn't realize how much energy I was taking on from everybody and trying to live my life according to everybody else's plans, and it made me almost die. No joke. And at the same time, I'm really grateful because I wouldn't have figured out some of this stuff if it wasn't for all that. So I was having all these physical things go on, and it was like, what's going on? What's going on? Well, that's stuck energy coming into the physical to cause problems. So, for instance, your root chakra is all about being happy in your body, living your physical life, your safety, your security. So, because I had so many problems in that area, it it dictated who I attracted. I was searching for safety on the outside and not finding it. In fact, it would create bigger problems until I started doing like deep diving into where that was coming from. And then I learned that if your childhood is a little hectic, then you think what is normal. So, say it's hectic, right? Your hectic is what you consider normal. So then you go and search for your normal, which is somebody else's hectic. But I attracted that same type of thing. And basically, the situation forced me to have to figure it out. So, I had to do a lot of deep digging, which I'm still doing, to try to figure out how to be safe in my own body. And I learned there is energy, even from past lives or even from our parents, that we're processing. Aren't we lucky? And so it was really having to, again, like listen to those deep callings of how you're supposed to live your life. And for me, it was like finding safety in my own body. I had to recreate my whole entire world. And I had to separate myself from the whole entire world because I was also seeing that I was becoming whoever I hung out with, whether I liked it or not. And that is kind of how it works. It's like you attract the, I guess, energy level that you're on. I guess is sort of a basic way of saying it. And yeah, so that happened. And yeah, I had to pretty much separate myself, and it took a very long time to realize that whoever, if I, like unconsciously, if I'm not paying attention, I soak in all the energy of everything and everybody around me, and then I try to heal it. So, my first experience with this, actually, finding out that I was an empath, was when I was in high school. I went to the movie Titanic when it first came out. And I was wicked excited, watched it. Oh my goodness, did that movie actually change my life? I unconsciously took on the I still haven't figured out the entire lesson around this experience, but I took on the experience as if I was whatever that girl's name is, the main character. I don't even know. Her. And so when I left that movie, I was so upset, crying. I was depressed, and I mean depressed, as if I think I was living it as if it happened to me for, I don't know, years probably. It, to this day, I probably could watch it now, but I don't think I tried to avoid that movie like the plague because I felt everything that character felt, and losing whatever his name Jack was horrible for me. And so that experience, even though it was really painful, it was like obviously one I've never forgot, but also it led me to the to realization eventually that I was an empath. And it's like, what's an empath? Well, they literally take in the energy in their second chakra from the room or the people or whatever. So if you're here, you most likely are one too. And so notice when you walk into rooms, you probably can pick up on the energy of people. Notice if somebody tells you they're feeling fine and you know for a fact that they're not, that's you picking up the energy and moving it through your second chakra. And then what will happen, because I know this from experience, is that you will feel bad for them until you can figure out a way to help them. And that is your way of unconsciously healing people through your second chakra. And it doesn't work very well because it gets very tiring. And so, thankfully, though, for having that experience, I started down the road of like learning about energy and all that. And it got me to where I am here now. Yay. So, ask questions, because otherwise I'm just telling stories and it's no fun with that. I don't think, anyway. Alright, I'll keep talking until you do. Excuse me. I took a drink of coffee. One thing I can suggest is to take deep breaths. They talk about grounding. Basically, just being in nature helps you release that energy. Taking showers is an energetic release because it washes the energy off you. Even if you can't see it, it is there. I promise you. I promise you. Because energy, we are energy. We are a lot of energy. We are dense because we have to be in order to be physically on this planet. But we also have energy all around us, and energy can't die. So when the physical body dies, the spirit leaves the body and it goes back to the energy all around us, basically. Which reminds me about another thing I wanted to mention, is loved ones and those who have crossed over. It was brought to my attention this weekend because I've been trying to figure out why we, especially me, because I've been trying forever to communicate with my past loved ones, why I couldn't. And I was very gently shown that it was because our hearts are damaged. And basically, it's kind of like this. They really are all around us. When we are thinking about them, it's because they are seriously right next to us. They don't want to cause us pain, and they know sometimes that being around can be painful. And actually, I recommend watching it a couple of times because there is layers to this. I can promise you that. So, well, I think it'll just be easier to explain what I did this weekend. I didn't even plan on doing this, but I was listening to some workshops on mediumship, and it's a really big passion of mine. And they actually, I didn't realize they were leading us through a experience, and so basically she tricked me into it. I was going to go outside, and she was like, come on, you can just take 3 deep breaths. And I was like, all right. So I sat down, and she guided us through just 3 breaths of relaxing every part of your body. So you have to be really relaxed, but also in your heart. And that's where I was getting it wrong, because when you hear about like intuitives and psychics and everything like that, you think head, right? Like third eye, seeing, hearing, it all happens in your head. But when spirit is communicating with you, you actually have to be out of your body into like your spirit body. And so you really should be more like heart, in your heart. And the lady guided us kind of after we like relaxed, to kind of like set a little meeting spot in your imagination. And your intuition and imagination are pretty much the same thing, they're linked. You absolutely need to have your imagination to switch from your left logical brain to the right imaginative, like spiritual side of your brain, basically. So in your heart, imagine a little greeting place. And then you, in your head, pull up a picture of your loved one. And you're set a little space. You're going to meet them. Then you look at your loved one and look at them in their eyes and start to open your heart. And that's where I will admit I was definitely getting that wrong. I think the kind of the thing is like, because we're mourning them and still holding on to the belief that they're gone, even though yes, their physical body is, but their spirit isn't, and the spirit is absolutely here with us. So I had built up this wall around my heart, and I was like, nope, I'm sick of people dying. I'm not letting anybody else in. And then this exercise kind of like opened that a little, and holy, I was not even prepared for what happened. I started with my grandmother, and I got my grandmother and totally had an experience where not only did I feel my love for my grandmother, but I also felt her love for me, which even that, I'm going to start crying, was probably one of the strongest feelings I've felt for a while. It was so overwhelming. I absolutely burst out crying, and I got that intuitive that they were like, whoa, I'm causing you pain. I don't want to do that. And I was like, nope, nope, this is not pain. These are tears of joy. So it's like you have to open up to that like possibility and love, and then you can have all kinds of experiences with them. So from there, I met a whole bunch of people that had passed, and it was an incredible experience, and I'm so grateful for it. And my whole point is that I'm hoping by sharing that some little piece of that will click, and you'll be like, ah, I know exactly, that answers my question. Or maybe it will encourage you to talk to your loved ones more, because I guarantee you, when you are thinking of them, it is because they are in your space. Because we are so trained. It's kind of my whole point of this talk is to like get us out of our heads thinking, or allowing our like spirit to kind of take over and go from your heart, and like know that your loved ones are around, you can talk to them. We're more than our physical body. Like my point was that you have energy bodies, and that is why you can feel things in your area, is because your aura is picking it up. So that's why you feel them, because they stepped into your aura, your energy body. that make sense? I hope so. Because it's just exciting. Alright, I had a few notes. I am clicking right through them. Ask questions if you have questions. Sorry, I'm trying to get my pen. So intuition is not always, like, one of the myths, I think, is that you're going to hear other people's voices or even hear voices. It's sometimes ideas. Like, an idea will just pop in your head. Oh, where'd that come from? Ever had that happen? Yeah, that's intuition. That is you getting information from your higher self or your guides or God or whatever you would like to call it. Yeah, because it's going to come in any way that you allow it, basically. I was thinking about like religion, and that's kind of one way that we've been trained to look at things, but I kind of want to open. I think that's why I resonate with energy, because it's universal. It doesn't have as many restrictions. It's like the same. I don't know how to explain it. So it's literally the trees, and we're made up of the same thing. It's everything around us is all of us. We are that. Beginner's mind is coming up a lot lately. That is a really good tool. What can you do that you've done a million times with a beginner's mind, as if you've done it, this is the first time you're doing it? One thing I've noticed is I like to do it every time I walk outside. I look outside as if at the world around me, as if I know I look like a crazy lady to my neighbors because I'm always looking up in the sky like, whoa. But it's really cool, because I'm telling you, you'll notice way more stuff, and it's just exciting. It's a way to bring excitement back into your world. Especially with the springtime, there's so much going on. And that was another thing, kind of a point I was trying to make earlier, is like, I know you're probably getting sick of hearing that like everything is happening for a reason, or to keep trucking because the positive stuff you've been waiting for is right around the corner. But it really is, I can promise you. Just as I was saying before, it's that time of year, it's that energy, it's all creation, beginnings, new, buds are coming out, seeds are sprouting. It's that energy. That's what it is. So surrender, open to guidance, ask for guidance, and then we have to be open to listening for the answers, but also looking for them in places that you wouldn't expect them, because that's part of the problem, is like we limit our possibilities by our limited beliefs. We put little boxes on what we're able to do, usually because we're stuck in the past. And that's why I think it's a good idea to really try to connect to your futures as much as possible, because you want to bring a new perspective, but also from a positive energy, rather than, usually if you're doing something based in the past, it's because you are living a wound or trying to prevent something, trying to protect yourself. These are all experiences I am very aware of in my own experience, and I know it's a lot easier said than done. Trust me, it is an experience I'm trying as well. Yeah. Because living the old way is not going to work anymore. And it's all just breaking. So, yeah, we have to think of things from a new perspective, new direction, new eyes. Yeah, that's all for now. Anybody have any questions? I can't even tell if anybody's here anymore. Hello. Anybody want a card or something? I can almost guarantee it will be similar to what I have just been saying. But I do actually want to pull a card because I got new ones and they're so fun. So we're going to do that. And I haven't done that for the week yet, so we really need to do that. Alright, so this is for Monday through Wednesday. For anybody listening, either today, tomorrow. Oh, let's just take a breath. What is going on in anybody's world? Yes, please. Yay, you are here. Ah. Alright. Do, do, do. Hmm. Oh, we almost had a jumper. Oh, the other thing too is head. Notice the top of your head when it tingles. It's because there's communication coming in from above. But also, crown chakras are opening up. And so you may notice tingling, crackling, just different feeling, like scalp feels funny, all that good stuff. That's all the energy moving around in the crown chakra. It's all good stuff. Alright, so Monday, sorry, back to it. Father of water, balance and harmony. So, yeah, also the world is going to be crazy. So, I suggest finding ways to balance yourself out. Lots of breathing, lots of doing things that you feel called to do. We're learning boundaries. We're learning to say no. It is not easy, I know. Alright, so balance and harmony. Trust your instincts. There is unity and balance between your head, heart, spirit, and a balance between the conscious and unconscious. This is a good thing. Although you must give yourself permission to feel your emotions fully and completely, acting out in tantrums or rage is not healthy for you and your loved ones. Man, I swear we were just having this conversation. So, it's back to that. Give yourself 5 minutes to feel those feelings that you have been trying not to feel, and then you will not be feeling them when you don't want to. I promise you. Okay, I'll stop preaching now. Although, acting out tantrums, not good. The answer is not more control. The answer is doing your spiritual healing work. This personal or parental ancestor is spiritually mature and compassionate. He comes through when you may need a reminder to be more open and trust your heart. If there is a Prince Charming, this is his dad, and more substance, King Charming. Ancestral memory. The ancestor comes forward as a god of healing. He brings forward the energy of giving and receiving, compassion and kindness. The ancestor is kind, generous, and a centered father, stable and calm in the raging seas of life. In some traditions, he is goddess rather than a god. Have you experienced positive and loving divine masculine energy? This is very different from patriarchal energy. That was the other thing I was thinking. You are definitely going to see a lot more men crying or throwing tantrums or like working on their stuff and trying to be better people. So like you're going to see a split. There's going to be people who do not transform and are just going to stay in the third dimension, and there are probably going to be more people passing. And then you're going to see another split where there are more people, more men talking about like their emotions, their feelings, processing, trying to heal their past, trying to be better people, trying to live more from their heart, and maybe even change careers or focus more on their hobbies and things that make them happy, and yeah, more of that, because that's kind of what the masculine is going through to be more balanced. Anyway, back to the card. This is different. You are capable of balance and worthy of loving and being loved fully and completely. Where is your empathy? Yes, you have been hurt, but having the walls up is hurting you even more. Just because you turned a blind eye to your issues and problems doesn't mean that they go away. Trust me, they only get worse. So a declaration or an affirmation, that is a good one to say. I embrace my feelings and allow my emotional harmony. And I can do this. Oh, gotta love it, man. Alright, so let's do a card for Wednesday-ish, the middle of the week. Hump day. Guidance for our highest good for our hump of the week. And here we go. Ooh, Father God, Radical Truth. What a beautiful card. Can you see it? I love these cards. Oh, look at all the detail. How beautiful. Alright, number 43. Pay attention to numbers too. Another thing you can do with numbers is if you see a number and it has a significant meaning to you, for instance, I have been seeing 33 everywhere, which is my number that John Boy, which is my children's uncle, is around, which he absolutely has been a lot lately. But also you can, if they are not ringing any bells, just do a quick Google search and either do spiritual meaning or angel number and then read it, and it has a really cool message for you. That's another way that spirit will try to communicate with you. Alright, so radical truth. There may be dishonesty and confusion around you, but that is an old saying. Whoa, I've never heard this saying. The truth will out. Or, as the Grand Moss used to say, what's done in the dark will soon come to light. Now, I have heard that one. In fact, I'm pretty sure I just said that. I love this. Anyway, what do you believe to be true? The ancestral energy is focused on righting wrongs and doing the just thing. It is self-compassionate to be truthful with yourself. It is courageous to be truthful with others. If you root yourself in the truth, you cannot fail. Father God shows up as Olophin, the omnipresent, omnipotent incarnation of the Supreme God in the Yoruba religion. He is the just ruler of heaven and the earth. Allowing yourself to be authentic is a privilege denied to many who came before. Which reminds me about the root chakra too. And remember, I was talking about like we're healing ancestral traumas. One of them was being executed for being who you are, even being a spiritual person. Like witches being hung or burned at the stake for practicing herbal medicine. So that might be some of the stuff that's coming up too. So like we're healing the uncomfortability of living our truth, and so that's root chakra stuff as well. Allowing yourself, it was denied. Our ancestors were definitely killed for that, and so sometimes that comes forward in our life as like being afraid to live who you are, being afraid, even me, like to come out of the spiritual closet, and yeah, to like, because we probably unconsciously have lived past lives where we have been murdered for that. So that would be more healing that we're doing. How can you be more of yourself? My beloved child, you are willing to drop the masks at home and in the rest of your life. The path of ease is not always choosing the easy way out. You are not being truthful about something. There is very dangerous game that you are playing, and there is no such thing as a little white lie. Come clean or risk everything. And I keep it real is the affirmation or declaration that you can make. Yeah. All right. So I keep it real on Wednesday. Now for the end of our week. Yeah, baby. That Friday energy. I don't even know where the hell that voice came from. Oi, oi, oi. Any questions yet? Got any questions yet? Alright, Friday. And here we go. I had this one the other day. So excited. Altar of the... Whoa, sorry. That was my bad. Altar of the earth. Altar of the earth. Oh, I cannot get it right. I'm sorry. Limitless prosperity. Let me see. Can you see it? There you go. Friday. It's limitless prosperity. Number 37. Oh, I opened right up to it. Receive everything. Wealth, love, health, opportunities. Make way for new financial and career opportunities. It is reaping season. I told you, I truly feel this in my bones. Make way for new financial and career opportunities. It is happening. It may be finally time to welcome those delicious rewards you've been collecting in your energetic vortex. The ancestor is unapologetically rich and successful. This is your time to shine. And if you are on here, it means you too. Because you wouldn't even be attracted to this if it wasn't so. Anyway, back to this. Embrace this fresh start with confidence and take practical steps to manifest your intentions. Which reminds me, new moon energy, setting intentions. So make a list of things that you are bringing in. Actually, write it down. I know it's crazy, I know. But did you know there are a ton of presidents that journal? Journaling is a very wise tool. Literally could get energy out of your body onto paper, then you no longer worry about it. You don't have to think about it. It's not in your space anymore. And so manifesting is like taking an idea, an inspiration, a spark of the divine, and literally bringing it into our bodies and creating it into the physical. So speeding that process up is writing it down. In fact, I don't think I did. I don't know if I did, but anyway, I have experience with this. So I'll tell you a very quick story. I one time wanted a house. I wanted a house where my kids could play outside, and I wrote, and I have to this day, maybe I'll even post the picture of it on after I get off this live, is I wrote down every detail because I could see it. I could see the house that I wanted. I wanted big windows, hardwood floors, a big garden, a backyard where the kids could play, and like a tree house. That was the only part I didn't get. I did get the tire swing, but I didn't get the tree house. I wanted, I think I said hardwood floors. I even wrote a gas stove. And then I just forgot about it. Life got in the way, and all of a sudden it was time. Obviously I was thinking about moving, and just I don't know what happened, but one day the phone rang and I answered it, and it was this lady, and she said, "Hello, I heard you were looking for a place to rent, and I have a place that I think you would like. Do you want to set up a meeting?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I set up the meeting and drove into the driveway the day to meet her. And as soon as I parked, I saw the garden, and I looked at the house, and I saw the big windows, and I saw the porch, and the porch was on the list. And then when I walked into the house, I remember to this day opening the door, and the first thing I saw were the hardwood floors. And then I looked over, there was a fireplace that was also on the list. And then I looked into the kitchen because I could see it from the door, because it was all opened space, was the gas stove. And the house was rented to me. It actually was the brown house that the kids to this day call it, the brown house in East Bethel, that I lived in for a really long time. And so when you actually listen to your heart, write down the things that your heart is calling for you, and then just kind of like know that it's gonna happen. It happens like magic. You do not even have to effort for it. It comes to you like you're a magnet, because it was meant to be. It was a divine plan. So that's my point. It is happening. So anyway, trust in your ability to create a rock solid foundation. Take those steps with your intentions, whether it be in the realm of finances, career, health, whatever it is that you have been wanting. today being or technically it was yesterday, the new moon, but the energy is still here today, is super strong, waiting for you to write them down so that little angels in the sky and all the energies around you that you can't see can work their magic and make all those things just fall in your lap. It is amazing. And you just have to listen to the crazy lady and trust that it's true, because it's happened to me. Yeah. So anyway, trust your ability to create that solid foundation for success and make the most of the fertile ground ahead. The altar of earth comes forward with the energy of the Hindu goddess, oh god, I can never say their names, Hudiva, the fertile Mother Earth incarnation of the prosperous Lakshmi. I always say that wrong. Practice what it feels like to be lucky. What does it mean to have resources at your disposal? How does your nervous system feel when faced with abundance? Do you feel safe? And this is coming up for me too, because part of like abundance and money issues and that root chakra thing that we've been talking about is like, what is your relationship with money? Does it, for me, I had and still am working on my relationship with money, because I just realized the other day, growing, you have to go back and like look at how money was. If you struggle with money, if you don't, just ignore me. Look at how like your parents' relationship with money was. It most likely is what you were kind of handed down for thinking about money. So whether we were like thinking of scarcity all the time, or just pinching our pennies because we kind of had to, or if you had a parent who was sick and tired of having to pay child support, you probably have a messed up relationship with money. So it's kind of like looking at that stuff and then practicing, like, how would you feel? For me, it was realizing that, whoa, money isn't evil. Money doesn't make you evil. Wanting money doesn't make you evil. These are all things that you might be thinking if you have problems or working on your relationship with abundance. So that is a good thing to think about. How does it feel? And then if you feel like you're kind of like struggling, just go back and look and realize like, whoa, I really have always been taken care of. And then you can kind of relax into that a little bit. You may be feeling a bit sluggish if it's the opposite, like if the energy is slow. You might be lacking in motivation from time to time. That's natural. These are delays and setbacks in your path, but the reason for the delays is most likely there's a blockage, or all the pieces haven't quite been put together yet, which is the stuff working under the surface that we can't see. So be wary of possible delays, but that's only for some people. If it doesn't sound like it's for you, it definitely isn't. Don't even listen to me if that's the case. Okay, so yeah, depending on where you're at, it might not even resonate today, and tomorrow it might. You never know. You can come on back and listen to it more. Any questions before I end this live, since it has been almost exactly an hour? Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was helpful. Hopefully it made sense. Alright. 30 seconds to say if you have any questions, and then I'm going to head out. If you found it helpful, feel free to share. Oh yeah, I totally need to say this because my daughter told me I need to. um, Definitely, if you think you might want a reading or to join a class or work with me or whatever, I would be more than happy to set up a free, like 15-20 minute chat to answer any questions that you have. Yeah, that's about it. And yeah, email me if you want to set up time for a reading. I think I'm going to keep actually doing the 3 card thing because I really like that. I actually gave a reading to my daughter the other day about her art as she was feeling a little stuck. And it was a really incredible reading. So it's 3 questions and I can't remember. Oh yeah, three questions. I will give you that like energetic reading on it, and the price is $33. And I think that's all. Okay. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Bye.